We hear it all the time that computers are getting smarter. But what does that actually mean? Are they really thinking the way you and I do? Well, today we're going to unpack the fascinating and frankly pretty wild difference between how our minds work and how a machine works. This is the big question, right? And finding the answer reveals that there isn't just one kind of intelligence. There are two, and they are completely different. So, to get to the bottom of it, we first need to understand what makes each one so special. So, let's start with our team, Team Human. If you had to boil down the human mind to just two words, flexible and creative are pretty much perfect. You can think of our brain as this incredible engine of intuition and pure imagination. And this right here gets to the absolute core of how we learn. We don't need a million examples to get something. Think about it. A little kid can see one elephant, just one, and their brain just gets it. They understand the whole idea of an elephant for the rest of their life. That is an unbelievably efficient way to learn. And because we can learn so efficiently, we can do all this other amazing stuff. Our brains are master connectors, right? They weave together ideas, feelings, and memories. It's exactly how we get the punchline of a joke, or how we can make up a story out of nothing, or even just guess at a solution to a problem we've never ever seen before. Okay, so now for our second character in this story, the machine mind. This isn't some creative daydreamer. Oh no. This is a powerhouse of pure logic and speed. It's playing a totally different game with a totally different set of rules. And here is the absolute most important difference. Machines don't understand meaning like we do, not even close. When an AI recognizes your face, it isn't knowing you. It's doing thousands of super fast calculations, measuring the distance between your eyes, analyzing the curve of your nose, and just matching those numbers and patterns to what's in its database. It's all just math. And this is where machines just leave us in the dust. I mean, they are absolute superstars at the stuff that makes our human brains just want to melt, doing billions of calculations in a second, spotting tiny little patterns in mountains of data, and doing the same boring task over and over again without ever messing up. All right, so we've met our two very different kinds of intelligence. Now let's do this. Let's put them head to head in a showdown to really see just how different they are. So here we go. The human brain in one corner and the computer in the other. Let's break down how they stack up against each other. The differences here are just wow. They're stark. Okay, so we're slow, but we learn from just one or two examples. They're incredibly, mind-bogglingly fast, but they need thousands, sometimes millions of examples. We understand what things mean. They just detect patterns in the data. We can imagine things that have never existed. They literally can't. But maybe the most surprising thing on this list? Check out the energy usage. Get this. This is an absolutely astounding fact. Your brain, right now, as you're listening to this, is running on about 20 watts of power. That is less than a dim light bulb. A powerful computer doing the same kind of complex work can use hundreds, even thousands of watts. Our brains are just ridiculously, unbelievably energy efficient. So after seeing that showdown, you might be thinking, okay, so which one's better? But you know what? That is completely the wrong question. The real story here isn't about which one wins. It's about what happens when they work together. Their differences are what make them so incredibly powerful as a team. This right here, this is the most important idea to take away from all of this. It's not about us being replaced. It's about our own minds being extended. You can think of AI as being like a telescope for the mind. It lets us see and solve things that were just totally out of reach before. And hey, this isn't some sci-fi theory about the future. This is happening right now. Doctors are using AI to find signs of disease in medical scans that a human eye might miss. Engineers are using AI to design safer cars and planes. Scientists are using it to sift through data from galaxies far, far away. We bring the creative spark, and they bring the raw computational power. It's an amazing partnership. So in the end, the smartest being on the planet isn't going to be a human, and it's not going to be an AI. It's going to be a human working hand in hand with an AI. It's a future where our flexible, creative, intuitive minds are supercharged by their structured, lightning-fast processing power. And this all leads to one final incredible thought. For the very first time in our history, we have tools that don't just extend our muscles, but our minds. So the real question for all of us is, now that we have these new abilities, what huge, world-changing problem are we going to solve next, together?